Hello, welcome to another video. Today I've made 4 different world bosses, as well as a weekly boss, from Genshin Impact, into Honkai Star Rail. As you can see, I'm using a TTS app as some things require a little more explanation. Anyway, enjoy. First up, all the way from Mondstadt, maybe not that far then, it's the Cryo Regisvine. The Cryo Regisvine obviously deals ice, and its weaknesses I feel are quite explanatory. For a HSR boss, its stats are very average. Let's talk about its attacks. Permafrost is basically like its Corolla, but is adapted to do with its toughness bar. Ice Spinner and Snow Flurry require no sort of explanation, as it's just damage. Ice Beams is its ultimate attack. I didn't specify in the text, but this attack does take a turn to charge up. Frost Seeds are a really fun debuff which I decided to add because it would add more complexity to the fight. That's about it. Anyway, let's stay in Mondstadt for the next one. Continuing on to the next boss, is the Anemo Hypostasis. Again, the kind of damage is self-explanatory. The weakness are the only 3 elements that cross over from Genshin Impact, other than Anemo and Wind, and also technically Firestorm. The stats are also pretty simple, as it's fast, has a high attack and somewhat low defenses. Onto its attacks. The attacks are all based on debuffing enemies with reducing their wind res. Tornadoes are the first part of its ultimate attack. It will choose an enemy, let's say March 7th, and will absorb the element, so ice, then finally it converts the wind res reduction into ice res. Vacuum Burst deals damage equal to the element absorbed, as long as it's ice, lightning or fire, or just deals wind damage. Let's move on to a more complex boss now, all the way into the chasm. The Ruined Serpent is very damage orientated, and physical is the obvious choice for its damage. I wanted to choose some fun weaknesses, so I did. I think it's probably important to start with oozing concretion stacks, as they are the essential part of its kit. The stacks are basically always gained or lost when the Ruined Serpent attacks, and just make the Ruined Serpent do more damage. Bomb Barrage doesn't take any time to charge up, and does a lot of damage. Despite it really being more complex, it doesn't exactly take much time to explain. Last but not least, for the world bosses at least, is the Thunder Manifestation. Considering it's an incredibly annoying boss to deal with due to its fast nature, I decided to replicate that, yippee. Blink is just an unnecessary buff, and I think it might have to be nerfed if it was in the game. Its ultimate, Furious Thunderbolts, charges up first turn, like most bosses, then just deals a ton of damage the next turn. I'm very excited for the final boss, Last Sign Aura, but before I do that, maybe like and subscribe. You don't have to lol, but it would be nice. Also let me know what bosses you want next. Phase 1 of Last Sign Aura is all about weakening targets as much as possible for the second phase. If you didn't know, Counter-Strike is an actual attack that Last Sign Aura has, but it's unlikely due to having to deal an immense amount of damage in one strike. You have to do 222,601.8 damage in one strike, in theory at least. Sheer Cold is just the damage that you would take in Dragonspine, or in the boss fight. Frozen Cocoon is the preparation for the second phase, and I purposefully made it so you have to bring specific elements to destroy it, or Silver Wolf obviously. The second phase is considerably boosts the damage output of Last Sign Aura. Blazing Heat is identical to Sheer Cold, so it needs no explanation. Searing Reckoning is her tornado attack, and constantly deals an incredible amount of damage with a whopping 290 speed. In general, a tough boss to deal with, but Defiantly isn't on the level of a weekly boss like Fantalia or Cocolia. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this fun video. If you want me to make another, then leave suggestions in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe and have a great day.